I am very happy to come here to present my views on the budget and the future of this country. He also has given credit to Manishankar Iyer for making Narendra Modi as a Prime Minister. Fortunately or unfortunately, Congress has got so many leaders now who are capable of making us active and occupied. Otherwise, you tell me, previously they used to say always that we have appropriated Sardar Patel and Sardar Patel is our property, Congress property. And he was a freedom fighter and he was a Congress leader and he was the first Home Minister, all these things. So definitely they have a bigger claim. And they said we have appropriated, BJP has appropriated Sardar Patel. After a few days they realized that we have also appropriated the Mahatma Gandhi. And in coming days they will see that we are appropriating Kamaraj also. Now, leave about the persons. Congress and Bharat Mata Ki Jai got so much identified in the past. Now they are ready to give this Bharat Mata Ki Jai only to the BJP. Even our ideological movement, if you link it to BJP or Jan Sangh, or if you link all these things to RSS started in 1925. Bharat Mata Ki Jai slogan became popular much before 1925. Vande Mataram slogan became very popular much before 1925. Now, leaders of Congress, you just see, they are behaving the way Manishankar had behaved. They are saying, if Bharat Mata Ki Jai one does not chant, what is the problem? Why? And why you are, asking anybody to chant Bharat Mata Ki Jai, now they are equating to the Hitlerian nationalism. The Ghulam Nabi Azad very recently told the same thing. So, whatever good for the country, good for the India as a nation, its self-pride, its history, or its pride symbols, or any such things, whatever, they are there. Now they are ready to give that all these things they belong to BJP. And protecting them, promoting them, defending them, safeguarding them is the job of BJP. Congress is not ready to do. Of course, Rajaji Institute Center, one thing is guaranteed. You can never be identified with the communists. Because if you want to identify with Rajaji, you can never identify with the communists. The way, if you want to identify with Ambedkar, you can never identify with the communists. If anybody has read Ambedkar, you will come to know, if you want to represent the legacy of Ambedkar, one thing is sure, you have to be opponent of communism. Because he never agreed the communism. So Rajaji Institute people, they, even if they want on certain things, they may call, they may invite, you may have a discourse, debate, that is different thing, but you can never agree with the communism if you want to represent Rajaji. So in the same way, communists are, because of their deeds in the past, in the present, and I think in the future also they will be doing the same thing. So nation doesn't have much expectations from them. But Congress is also going in the direction of the Communist Party in questioning all these things. And in the process, transferring the entire responsibility of carrying the legacy of the freedom struggle to BJP. Don't think it is a happy situation. As a political party, I don't want to see that only BJP should represent the legacy of the freedom movement and all other parties are going away from it. I don't want that. It is not a happy situation. On a common issues of importance for the nation, national unity, national pride, national cultural heritage, all such things are common for everybody. So there should be a consensus and everybody should own it. This is my personal view. But that situation is happening. Now, the important thing, BJP under Modi, it has come into power. And it is almost now, we are coming nearer to 2 years. This is 20 months already, 22 months. So, in the past 2 years we have presented budgets. And now the campaign is going on. In the past also, in the past 2 years. It is natural, nothing wrong in it. But, it's going beyond even, some kind of normal acceptable level. BJP coming into power under Narendra Modi, Congress leadership and all other political parties, and more than these political parties, the patronized establishment of the Congress and the intellectual left in the last 60 years. Now they are not able to adjust. Naturally, they have occupied the places of importance in the administration or in the intellectual establishments and in other establishments, and as a part of the administration or as a part of the semi-administration. So they have been doing this, universities, other places and other organizations. Now in the last 2 years, there is a concerted effort all over the country. The objective for all these people, inside parliament and outside parliament, inside the different establishments and outside establishment, one and only thing is how not to allow, how this government should be stopped from performing. How this government and leadership can be blamed. How this government can be cornered. And how this leadership can be questioned. Here, there, everywhere. So, a small issue anywhere happened, whether actually it belongs to this government functioning or not, but connecting that to this government. Anywhere. If it is an issue related to law and order, then it comes under the state government, but they connect with the central government. Or issue related to something else, they connect with, and they magnify and they amplify the campaign. And they amplify the campaign not only in that particular place, but in the entire country. And they also raise the issue in New York, Washington, or in other places. So a kind of international network is also in association with the forces here working to put blame and put resistance and put questions to this government. And accepting, normally there will be in a democratic system resistance and opposition are the normal thing, and it is a part of the system, it is a part of the checks and balances of the system. But something else is going on. People's mandate is there for this government to function. It is not that government has come from nowhere. Government has come under the leadership of Narendra Modi with the full backing of the people and with the full overwhelming support of the people. And it is not only particularly from few states or 2 states or 3 states, but the entire nation has supported. And the second important thing, this is the very important limitation or a peculiar constraint which this government is facing. And the second important thing, ultimately, in the last 10 years, the kind of government we have, it is not only policy paralysis, it is not only the indecisive leadership of the Prime Minister, it is not only this and that. There was a hopelessness everywhere, frustration everywhere, and a kind of feeling that what is this country? Country of 125 crore population, country of this potential, what is happening? Everything is failing. Administration is failing, polity is failing, judiciary is failing, and everywhere youth of the country, farmers of the country and households, everybody was feeling that what is happening in this country. At that time, and maybe even that may be also the reason for this kind of overwhelming support. Now, third important thing we have to understand, I am talking about the constraints under this leadership is functioning. Modi ji, he became Prime Minister, leaving one important silver lining, that crude oil prices are going southward, it is down, it is falling. A soft area, is a comfortable cushion area. Leaving that, and on that they are very much dependent, and a lot of imports are there. So leaving that, international economic situation is not positive. There is a recession, and the global trade is contracting, and GDP growth rate in different countries also contracting, is going down. The situation in America, situation in Japan, situation in Germany, situation in England, OECD countries and outside countries, everywhere the global economic situation and the economic growth in different countries are also falling. In percentage of terms and even comprehensively everywhere, the situation is not a goodwill kind of thing, a blooming situation is not there. That is a very important thing I would like to mention. This is also working as a constraint for this government. When Modi ji came, the internal economy is not in good shape, and when he taken the responsibility, the external economy and the global economy is also not in good shape. Only silver lining, as I told, is this is a very important. Even China, the country which worked as the engine of the global economy and global growth story, which could maintain double-digit growth for so many years. No, even Chinese economy is, that growth story is now stopped and it is now falling. So a kind of pessimism, a kind of skepticism is there all over the world, and in that background, Indian leadership or Indian government is functioning, and the finance minister was expected to submit the budget in the parliament or the people of this country when all these kind of limitations were there. So this is what I would like to mention. In this background, when this government came in, you have to understand another very problem area. We have now this story has come into the public, everybody knows that our banks are riddled with non-performance assets, NPS. It is a 3.5, but many people say it is a 5 lakh crores or whatever it is, but now everybody's knowledge is that public sector banks or Indian banks are not healthy. And now Vijay Mallya has gone out and everybody is targeting that who allowed him and what happened, this and that. But the main important issue is ultimately he has taken part in, not only Vijay Mallya is discussed, no, but the people who have become the defaulters. How and where from they got this money? Why their business enterprises got into the problem? What was their responsibility and what was the responsibility of the bank and what was the responsibility of the political leaders who were influencing the decisions? So in this situation, now the point, the reality is the banks are not in good shape. Non-performing assets are there, is a burden. Now not only that, in the economy we have the problem of the stressed up capital. Stressed up capital is not a small amount. You have invested money, you have established industry. The situation is in some stage. Somewhere we have established the machinery, taken machinery, imported the machinery, taken the loan, spent the money, but ultimately it is not in the operation. So the capital has gone, but it is not in the process of producing something and selling something. So stressed of capital, when this government came, it is not a small amount and it is not a small problem. So this is also a greater challenge which is crippling the administration and the political decision. This is also another constraint. Now adding to all these things, you have this pay commission report. And on account of the pay commission, 7th pay commission, and the burden is there for the leadership, it is more than 1 lakh crore. And again, supplementing to this, you have OROP, 1 rank 1 pension. I am not saying these are the not desirable things. The soldiers who have worked and defended the borders, and if they expect and they were demanding this for so many years, everybody is getting, and why they should not? So, OROP, but annual, there is some burden. More than 7,000 crores, and this kind of burdens are there. These are the limitations in which this government and the finance minister was supposed to formulate budget. So these are the important things before taking, and within this, because of this 14th Finance Commission's formulations, the devolution of revenues to the shares and available with the center, and the tax percentage which is available for the center, it has come down. So with all these things, Modi ji is working as the Prime Minister. And Congress government is not ready to allow the parliament to function. If there is some small incident, then immediately the casualty is the parliament discussion. the government, and at that time also problems were there, but never this kind of attitude was there from any opposition party. Only BJP agitated against Congress because of the continuous scandals and other things, and the Prime Minister was not really functioning as the leader. But this kind of behavior from the opposition party, it was there. So all reforms which this government is interested in pushing forward, they are stalled, including GST, only because the political opposition, they want to see this government not succeeding, not performing. So this is the whole thing. So in this context, I would not like to again take the time the way Finance Minister takes in the Parliament, the amount of speech and the comprehensive things. I don't want. You are learned people who are here. I will not be taking time to present all aspects of the budget. These things are not so important. But the important escalators are the focus points in this budget. I would like, as Narayan Swamiji just now in his introduction he spoke about, first time after so many years, this government has taken agriculture as an important area. First time. So agriculture is taken as an important area. Rural development and rural India is occupying the important space along with agriculture in this budget. So it is not just confined or restricted agriculture or agriculture budget, but along with the rural India, infrastructure to rural India, when you put all these things together, definitely this has become a very important point. So that is the reason now everybody started saying that it is not Sudbud Sarkar. Now it is the Dhoti Turban Sarkar. Rahul Gandhi was interested in saying that Modi ji's Sarkar is Sudbud Sarkar. Corporate India Sarkar, corporate Sarkar. And now corporate people are not able to say, but this is not our... And you tell me, in this country, even today with the less percentage of GDP occupied by agriculture, but the dependence on agriculture, even today it is more than 55%. When India's population, you have 125 crore, and in this, even today when you have 70 crore and more than 70 crore people are depending on agriculture, then you tell me, not focusing, how you can justify. Second, even British times, the kind of suicides which we are now facing, this kind of suicides were not reported. And it has not become an isolated example in a particular state. Started happening in Maharashtra and Telangana, Andhra, but now spread to all different states. Farmer means neglected, marginalized and discriminated, and even the young people in the farming community, now they are not able to get the brides. Because nobody is interested in marrying anybody's daughter and sending that girl to a village. So this kind of situation from Tamil Nadu, from Andhra to Punjab, where green revolution and other things have taken place, even in those states, this is the crisis. So when this kind of population is in crisis, passing through the crisis, and I would like to add another point to it. You want to be you want to see the markets vibrate. When the purchasing power is not available with this vast, huge population, there is no purchasing power among these people, then where will be the demand for the domestic industry? Where will be the demand in the markets? When this population is out, so much population is out of the market, then your market becomes contracted. So the government has rightly decided that unless we address this problem, it is impossible to revive the economy or re-energize the economy or kick-start the economy or activate the growth process. So, agriculture and rural India, it has been as a subject in this budget. Arun Jaitley ji has completely taken under the leadership of Narendra Modi, and he has addressed. Narendra Modi, a few days before, he said that within 5 years I want to double the income of the farmer. Now, this statement, if it does not come from Narendra Modi, if it comes from somebody else, people will be laughing. This man, how he is saying that, how it is possible? Farmer doubling the income within 5 years, how it is possible given the situation in the last so many years? And there is, in many states we have only 2% of the growth in agriculture sector, when the national average we expected 4%, but we never achieved. And even the average 2% growth or something we are able to achieve because of our BJP's performance is always good. Wherever we have. In Gujarat, in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, where we have conducted our affairs, there the agriculture growth rate has been more than 10%. And Madhya Pradesh as a state became a performing state, and it got the award from the president for achieving the highest growth rate, 20%, 22%. So can you imagine, when you are having the minus growth rate in many states, Madhya Pradesh is having more than 22%, 20% in the agriculture sector. So, now why I am giving this example is, when Narendra Modi ji has said that agriculture income of the farmer will be doubled in the next 5 years, then it is not a rhetoric, it is not an empty slogan, it is based on two things. One, commitment and the will of the leader, and another is we have experience and we have the performance based backing. So these are the two things with which now we have taken the agriculture sector as a target area, and the next 3 years addressing this problem is important. And vision of future India. You tell me, for example, a 0.5% sector, if it grows with 15% growth rate, what would be the contribution of that sector to the overall economy? Nothing. 15% growth rate of 1% of economy, even if it grows for 10 years, what will be the overall growth? So, by making this elephant to rise, then India will rise. So this sector, even today, it has opportunities, and viability can be built only by activating it. So agriculture is taken with full seriousness. This we have to understand. Now within this, agriculture, when I said this is taken, it is comprehensively in this budget. Well, Narayan Swamiji is saying that for the first time it is done. It is a comprehensive. More than 35,000 crores for the agriculture and irrigation. Irrigation is the important area. 46% is even today cultivated land, irrigated land. It is more than 70% is under rainfed. Now the problem is, unless we develop 141 million hectares, so cultivable land we the agriculture problem cannot be solved. So, water to the crop, water to the farmland is the essential thing. So this is also important, and within that irrigation, the target is in the next few years 28 lakh hectares, adding the irrigated land is the target, and the irrigation 89 projects and all those things. Now I am not going into the details, and they have completely planned 20,000 reserve money, corpus money in the NABARD, and how can you get leverage that, and how can you get use that and raise the money outside, and so that irrigation is not stopped from the money. And 9 lakh crores agriculture credit, the highest ever allotted this thing credit is also done. Now, added to these things, Manrega we know, this Manrega project, Congress is drumbeating. We know nobody is against the poor people. But the major problem is, if you are not utilizing the money to create assets, productive assets, then you will be draining the money. The savings, whatever we have, we are not converting them into investments, but we are only in the name of welfare, only draining the money for the unproductive purposes. So this time, Prime Minister has openly said, and in the budget it is given 5 lakh ponds, water bodies, check dams or something. This Manrega should be used to create 5 lakh ponds. And Manrega should be used to create 10 lakh compost pits. You know, if you want to reduce the dependence on urea, you want to reduce the reliance on the potassium, phosphorus, or the inorganic fertilizers or chemical fertilizers, which are weakening the soil, converting the soil into a kind of sick resource, then you have to increase. So it is incentivized by linking to Manrega. So it is a 10 lakh compost pits, 5 lakh ponds all over the country. This is what Narendra Modi ji has done in Gujarat. It is not that he is now doing a new thing when he came to Delhi. He has created large number of check dams in Gujarat. So in Gujarat it is not only Narmada dam, along with the Narmada dam, he also created the check dams, small water bodies. Then that helped Gujarat to increase the cultivable land. So in order to increase the cultivable land, assured water resource we have to create. So Manrega is linked to this issue. This also I would like to. Now with this groundwater management, he has created 6,000 crores, and now soil health cards, all these things he has used. Now for this, there is another important thing which I would like to add. Single market, unified agricultural market. So agriculture and rural India is taken as an important subject in this annual budget, so in multiple ways. Lot of barriers, lot of walls. Now farmer is given with an opportunity, and for that another important thing is the Fasal Bima Yojana is now changed. It is not like the previous Fasal Bima Yojana. Now it is applied in a different way. Now every single land holding is entitled. It is not village, it is not aggregate area, or it is not something. And it is also now the premium also is to 2% and 1.5%, and horticultural commercial crops is a 5%. And the compensation also is increased. And compensation is now enlarged to include the pre-sowing and post-harvesting damages. So this way, agriculture sector is in many ways it is helped. And another point is now the panchayats. This is a revolutionary thing. In coming days it's going to become the very important empowerment issue. Now for each village 80 lakh rupees, 80 lakh rupees, 80 lakh for the each gram panchayat and 21 crores for the small above gram panchayat and below the urban areas, a kind of cluster for the development. And then Gramin Sadak Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, it was a success story with the Atalji's government. It got introduced at that time. And afterwards Manmohan Singh did not take it very seriously. And again the budget allocation is increased and now putting 19,000 and more for that. So putting all this has changed the direction and the nature of the budget. This is a one important thing I would like to, and if you continuously go in this direction for the next 3 years, definitely the bottom of the pyramid are the real economy, real functioning economy, real productive economy, are the people where most of the people are employed. Their purchasing power will be created, and further now added this cold storage and other infrastructural things are going to be created. Now the second important point here I would like to say is the infrastructure. Infrastructure is the important issue in this. Many people are talking about private people are not interested. They have, I told you, the pessimism is there. Private money is not coming. So who will drive the growth? Where from things will come? So government has taken a decision that we have to increase the investments by creating infrastructure. And infrastructure will ultimately create the growth. So infrastructure, we have a very competent infrastructure minister today, Nitin Gadkari. Wherever you go, everybody discusses how he is solving the problems of the stressed up capital of earlier investments. The average road construction now, it is coming nearer to 30. It will, he has declared, and he has now integrated, if all you put together, 2,23 crores, rail infrastructure, road infrastructure, and the recent declaration of the waterways, creating the waterways infrastructure. All three put together, you will have a grand, ambitious project of creating the infrastructure for the future 21st century India. And this started showing. The average road construction was very less. Now it has already got increased and everything is on the paper. So this is all put together. This is a very important thing which infrastructure is a second important thing which we have taken up in this. Now the third important thing is in this, welfare is also very important. You know, the people who have savings and the people who are entrepreneurs, the people who are capable of doing something, they can always endure the problem because you are not struggling to have the evening meal. So the people who do not have those things, they require welfare. And welfare should come from the government, and this government has started doing certain things in a very comprehensive way and in a scientific way, how to convert this society into the pensioned society, secured society, and health insurance, and Jan Dhan Yojana. You know, today many people may be having doubts about the utility of the many people will come and say, sir, Jan Dhan Yojana, out of this whole 30% of accounts are they do not have the money. They may say. But I am telling you, in coming days, bank accounts will create a revolution in this country. Even now, IMF has started recognizing and they started saying that it's a great thing, this kind of accounts. Within 2 years, we have created so many accounts. It's a success story all over the world. Nowhere it has happened. Now, every year, you are sending so many, more than 2 lakh crores in the form of subsidies. And the subsidies are going to whom? It is not going to the real beneficiaries. So this government is now interested in sending subsidies, whether this subsidy or that subsidy, sending subsidies to the targeted beneficiaries. Misappropriation of anybody and beneficiaries getting empowered in the process. So to make this scientifically and workable, this JAM is also Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and mobile. We have mobile revolution, we have the mobile network. And now we have accepted Aadhaar. Aadhaar will be utilized to send the subsidies directly to the beneficiaries. And you have the account. So the canalization is done. Jan Dhan account is done and everybody is now account holder. So in such a situation, by creating this architecture of JAM, then the administration is revolutionized and the people's participation and the people's empowerment is issues are addressed. So these things is welfare, and added to that, small other things. Previously we have taken that Pradhan Mantri, that Jeevan Bima, Jeevan Jyoti Bima, Atal Pension Yojana, all that. Now in this budget we have also added one more thing. More than 30% of the population, BPL population. Now for them, 1 lakh hospital protection. 1 lakh rupees straight hospital protection. Wherever you want to go, you go, and the bill within the 1 lakh you will get. So this 1 lakh hospital protection is also given. So this welfare issues also very important. And in this welfare, I would like to add one more thing. In this country, when we are talking about rural households or slums and all, many places now more than 12 crores. If you have the houses, in that many people do not have the gas connections, the open chula. On account of this, women are suffering, children are suffering, and they are having a lot of health problems. Now Prime Minister has given a slogan in the last year that there should be a give it up campaign. More than 65 lakh people have given up the debt. They have given up the subsidy facility. Now the government has decided 1.5 crore households in this year we will add, and we will give the gas connections, free gas connections. So in coming 3 years we want to address the whole thing. So this is another important a lamppost kind of thing in this budget. In the rural area, one more thing I would like to add. If you see, full road connectivity. By May 1st, 2018, when Prime Minister had declared and now government work is going very fast, we have more than 18,500 villages which are not electrified till date. No electrification connectivity. Can you understand? A village you have in Tamil Nadu where the Chennai and every place and everywhere you are enjoying the fruits of the electricity and the light, and there you do not have the electricity. You imagine the people living in a village where electricity is not there. What will be the kind of mindset they will have? And after so independence, our governments have not been able to. So more than 18,000 villages. Now government has declared and more than 40% has already been finished. So 19,000 villages will get the electricity connection in the next till 1000 days the work is declared. So these are the important points of the budget. So rail infrastructure, road infrastructure, port infrastructure, waterways infrastructure is one side driving the story of the growth, and Make in India campaign, how to activate the manufacturing sector. Now ultimately in this, India creating demand and creating vibrancy at the middle and lower level of economy is important. So the enterprises, which are the enterprises now ultimately responsible for the Indian economy? So the small people. So Mudra Bank was started in the previous year. Almost 1 lakh crore distributed to 2.5 crore persons. Now in this budget, increasing from 1 lakh crore to 1,80,000 crores will be now given to Mudra Bank, and the Mudra Bank also will be more systematized, and the structures will be created. It is not only banks which will be giving. In coming days, if the microfinance and other small banks will also be enabled to identify the correct persons and give them. So the Mudra Bank is going to create something, a different story, and the small people who are running the enterprises, they will get the benefits. So these are the things which we have done. Definitely there are challenges. One, the challenge is the fiscal deficit challenge. You know, 3%, everybody says, nobody knows why 3%, why not 3.5%, why not 4%. There is no scientific study. Now the debate is going on, and the finance minister has said that what kind of discipline is FRBM rule, how it should be addressed. There should be money in the market for the entrepreneurs to borrow. I mean, there should be money for the government also to invest. And where is the balance? So what is the credit card expansion, and what is the role of the fiscal deficit issue? What is the correct thing? Now discussions are going on, but ultimately government is interested in driving the growth in times of crisis is a very important thing. And banks, they are riddled with the NPS. 20,000 money may not be sufficient for the recapitalization. So in this whole thing there is a challenge. I agree. I should not be just a party spokesperson to discuss. There are certain challenges in this budget. Disinvestment target is also there. Whether we will be able to realize it or not, and how we will address, because the market positions are not good. And when markets are not good, how you will have the disinvestment campaign target. So these are also the issues. And so in coming days, this government understanding the challenges, political and economic challenges, global economic challenges and global economic realities, keeping those things in view, how to address the problems which are existing in our country, our domestic problems, and how to energize the domestic sectors. So with this, definitely a kind of revolutionary steps have been taken to construct the Indian economy in a different way. So domestic industry and domestic economy, agriculture, these are the important areas we have addressed in this budget. So with this presentation and with this introduction, I close my presentation and thank you.